I'm going live. I'm gonna call you when I'm off. See what you're doing. What's up, y'all? It's Dr. Love Holt here, Pussy Priestess. I am currently yoni steaming and snacking on. Oh, jeez, Louise. Snacking. I almost burned my labia off, y'all. On some coconut oil and sea salt popcorn. But I'm here to talk to y'all today. We want to go ahead and have a full conversation about some of the tips and tools that I share. I guess people are quite stirred about my recent posts that is taking the internet by storm. And so, yeah, I want to make sure we chat it all the way out, get all the facts in there, answer any questions that you might have, and just, fall into it. So, today, my loves, we're going to talk about BV. All right? We're going to talk about BV. We're going to talk about urea, plagias. We're going to talk about all things that make your cat smell like fish. It's important. Not because it's a lot of smelly cats, but it's a lot of ways that your cats. Oh, yeah, this AirPod. Ways. There we go. That can make your lady bits a little unsavory. And so I want to get into it. I want to answer all the questions that you have. So if you have any burning questions, please hold them and I'll let you know when to throw them in the chat. And let me look, because this is my first time. Live chats. Let's make it a live chat. All right. And so I am an herbalist of about 13 years. I started studying and practicing on myself and on my family that many years ago. And it was just important for me to take back my health and wellness. I had a lot of kids, y'all. And with a lot of kids, plus the daycare children, I just needed to find ways to stop that flu. Hey, welcome to my life. I needed some natural ways to combat some of those illnesses because I was an entrepreneur. We had insurance. Hey y'all, welcome in. We're talking about BV today. So know before you hang around. It's gonna get real personal. Well, it's gonna get real vaginal. Hello, welcome. I appreciate you all for tapping in with me today. We're talking about BV, the causes, the natural solutions for it. You know what kids do sometimes stay sick, and that's only because they have a myriad of germs that they entertain. There's the children aren't the most hygienic group of people, as you know. So, um, well, today we're talking about BV. Thank you for all the compliments in the chat. We're gonna get right into it. Oh my gosh! Hello, my sister in India. Listen, I aspire to get to India to study reproductive health and holistic health in India. In my opinion, and in my studies, baby, the people in India are doing their thing. They have their reproductive health power under control to a certain degree. And Americas, we need to aspire to be like them. So shouts out to all of my viewers from India. Hi, hello. We're talking about bacterial vaginosis today. pH imbalance. If you know me, I am obsessed with knowing all of the natural ways you can heal your body, especially for women, because I am a woman. I know I may or may not give that, but I am indeed a woman. And I'm happy to be that and happy to divulge all of my experience with you all so we can get to the bottom of this. Hey, y'all. Thank you for subscribing. Oh my God. Do I look like Cardi B? I do not. Okay. That's my girl. She my girl. Okay. She's so pretty too. So I'll take it. You know what? I'll take it. Thank you. Anyway, talking about BV, bacterial vaginosis, talking about ways to deal it. Okay. Am I a real drag queen? Let's find out. Let's find out. Okay. So let me get back into it. Bacterial vaginosis or throwing off your pH. We all know it happens so easy. So easy. Thank you. I try to dust my aura off every now and again so it's not all dusty. But it's so easy, y'all. Believe it or not, a woman can get her pH thrown off by the soap that she's using on a daily basis to take a bath. I know it sounds crazy. But it's true. They really can. It's happened to me. It's happened to me, and it was the way I even started this work. If you watch my last video, I'll tell you all about how it's important for me to share with you what I'm going through and what I've been through, because who would have known that your soap can get you smelly cat? I didn't know. But we know now, and we're learning now. And so that is one of the leading causes. And really, the real issue is fragrance. The chemicals that make up fragrance. I cannot emphasize that enough. The compounds that make them up are just not womb friendly. A lot of chemicals that are found in different fragrances and perfumes, even scented body oils and lotions, say that there is a Surgeon General warning that this could be hazardous for your reproductive health. And so we need to take those warnings seriously, because there is something to them, even if it's not a bold thing that we can see like outright. We need to know that has to be there for a reason. And even if we don't research it or know that reason in its entirety, it's important we take it seriously. Fragrances are not your friend, Buki, contrary to what you might think, especially when applied directly to your vulva. And it's just the easiest way to wreak havoc and throw off your pH. So a healthy uterus or a healthy vagina sits at a pretty alkaline pH. Actually, the womb space is quite alkaline. Let's pull it up here. What the normal pH of a healthy, balanced womb or vagina would be. Okay. Now, all of us who drink alkaline water and such, so it's neutral, right? So neutral is more like a 7, where it's like an even balance of alkaline and acid. But in our case, women, our uterus, I'm sorry, yes, is quite alkaline at like 3.8 to 5.0. And so we have to not know that, but understand that because our uterus is more alkaline, that we need to introduce acids to rebalance that pH. That means some type of acid or too much alkaline compounds has thrown your pH off, and that's okay. We're gonna get back to best, Spooky, right here today. So when you have a pH that has been thrown off, you can experience a lot of different symptoms, such as discharge that is like chalky, that is like unpleasant smelling, you know. And a lot of times it's indicative of like a vagina smell, which isn't exactly a fish smell. It's more like a moist, like something smells wet or damp, like wet flesh. And the fishy smell too can come from having BV or having your pH thrown off. And so at the end of the day, it's important to know that, right? Because then you'll know how to fix it. And we'll get into that shortly. So don't worry about it. Now, soap can throw your pH off 100%. Fragrances, washing detergents, fabric softeners, all of those things contribute, honey. And as much as we want to tell people who smell like fish or smell like vagina to take a bath, it's like she probably did. She probably took a bath before she left the house, and the BV bacteria just took over. And that's okay. I'm here to help you with that today. Another way is that your microbiome, meaning like the film and the ecosystem that is inside of your vagina or your uterus, could be completely out of whack. That happens in several ways. And one that is super, super common, which is causing people reoccurring BV and yeast that they cannot fix with your over-the-counters or your metronozols and things, is that urea plasia thing. So during my research on this phenomenon that's taking over the country, it's come to be like a cell body that does not have a wall. If you know anything about biology, antibiotics, and the way chemistry works in the body, in order for a antibiotic to work, there has to be a cell wall. Um, and because there isn't one, this particular strand of bacteria is antibiotic resistant. So, if it's resistant to antibiotics, that means you can test for it and it may not show up, and you can treat for it, and or maybe not even know it needs to be treated in a person because there are no real testing mechanisms for this body. So there's some on EBVY I keep hearing. But the real test is if you keep getting reoccurring BV, if you're taking the meds, if you're doing the creams, if you're not sexually active, if you're using protection, if you're doing all the stuff and you keep having reoccurring BV, it's probably a good chance that you have this cell wall bacteria, cell wall-less bacteria living in your regime. And it is also an easy fix with herbs. Like somebody like me knows that it's really common that in medicinal practices, Western medicinal practices here in America, they often utilize herbs. I'm sorry, I'm fixing my yoni steam pot because I am steaming. I am not going to waste this valuable hour sitting down without getting my girl together. Anyway, but here in America, we lend ourselves to natural alternatives when the chemical compounds don't work. So, for example, like trichomonas, it's a parasite. I don't know if you're all familiar with it, but it's treated using an antibiotic, which works great. But guess what? When the bacteria is no longer responding to the antibiotic, therefore making it resistant, they use mergum. So that's stuff that they don't tell you because it's naturally occurring and it's cheaper than the whatever the medicine is that they're charging your insurance. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm having some steam complications. Bear with me. All right. So it's important that we know that because we're always lending ourselves to Western medicine and all the stuff the doctor prescribes. And guess what? Sometimes after the doctor goes, that whole list of things they can prescribe you, they have to lean back on some type of herbal modality to get it done. And you heard it from me. Anyway, so yeah, it lends to the fishy smell. It lends to chalky bacteria laden discharge, or your coochie always wet, or it always smells like a wet vagina. You don't want that. Okay. So making sure you are knowing that your pH can be thrown off with fragrances and soaps, especially if things are too alkaline. Excuse me, my son would like for me to fill his cup. And you can also get bacteria vaginosis because reoccurring, excuse me, because you have a certain form of the bacteria that is resistant to antibiotics, which sucks because those antibiotics wreck your body completely. Like, oh my God. You get that stuff, you think you getting your coochie together, and now all of a sudden you have strep throat, or you have a UTI. That was my claim to fame. Every time I had got prescribed something for BV that was triggered from my soap, I would always get a yeast infection afterward, and that was not fun. And so now that I know better, I do better, and I'm trying to teach you the same. Mhm. All right, next. This statement I'm about to make is very controversial, and y'all hate when I say it. But if you are having reoccurring BV after having sex with your partner, it's a good chance that your partner is a carrier of BV. Does that mean your man is actively cheating right now? Mm-mm. Does it mean they probably have cheated in the past? Maybe. Or maybe they were sleeping with multiple people in the past and they just didn't know that they were carrying BV before you two slept together. Either way, it's not good. Okay. And so I used to tell them to get rid of the man, but the girls are hanging you over their man here. So I'm just saying, if you keep having reoccurring BV after having unprotected sex with your partner, it could be that they have shared the trait between somebody else and you, or it could be their diet. It could be that something they're having is making their penis super alkaline or their sperm super alkaline. And that could also be a sign of like their prostate gland having some issues and other things that I'm not an expert in. So please don't get in the comments asking me what can men do because I don't know. I don't know. And so men, I don't know what this is. I don't know what's happening. Anyway, so men, I don't know what to do for you, but to tell you, don't cheat on your girls, you know. And ladies, if you're getting BV every time y'all have sex, it could be that he's not faithful, but it also could be that he drinks too much Hennessy and he needs to drink some water. He probably need a sit down bath with some apple cider vinegar in it too. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, you know? So also, to add to that list, we're not going to hit all of them. We're going to hit the most common ways and reasons women get reoccurring or regular BV. And the next way is 100% hygiene. I know a lot of people don't believe, like, say for instance, if you didn't really take care of it is just like that. So if you didn't really brush your teeth as a child, then as you get older, you're probably going to have poor health, oral health, because you didn't take care of them in the beginning. Your uterus is the same way. It can be rejuvenated and regenerated, but it will require more maintenance than if you had cared for it properly in the beginning. And the truth is, a lot of us didn't care for our womb properly in the beginning because we did not know better. Like, when I was a kid, I remember taking a bath, like a bubble bath, or washing my vagina with the soap on the rag, and it would burn. That wasn't supposed to happen, but it would burn really bad. You know, we used to use douche that say it's vinegar, but it would be full of other things. We used to use forms where they use like scented suppository joints. Like, we did a lot of things because our bodies weren't as abused by the food and all the chemicals and everything we're consuming these days. So, you know, we were messing it up before it was even a problem with that thing. And now the generations go on and we are having more womb complications. We're easily triggering BB. Like, any little thing. Like, a man try to finger me with a dirty fingernail, I'm gonna get BB. I'm gonna probably get yeast too. If a man trying to give me head and he didn't exactly brush his teeth the best, I'm gonna get yeast. I'm gonna get a yeast infection. It's gonna be wrong and itching because he was trying to be freaky. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Like, oh, you got to make sure you're healthy. You got to make sure your man doing this. You got to make sure this is happening. You can't use no soap. But it really is a lifestyle. And over time, you will realize the more you step away from using some of those things, like spraying your panties and different stuff we shouldn't have been doing, how much better your womb health is, how much better your vagina smells, you know? Sometimes I take my panties off and I'll be like, yeah. Sometimes I take my panties off and be like, oh, no, what's going on? But that's because I'm a sensitive girl. We know that. If you don't know that, watch my last video about me and who I am and how I became who I am today. Anyway, so those are the top ways, right? Fragrances, an unhealthy sex partner, you know, I don't know, sprays, you know, dyes, so much. And that happens because the womb is more alkaline, and when it is thrown off of that scale, it causes the smell. It causes the moist, super wet all the time, the weird discharge, right? And so, in order to prevent that, what do you think we need to do? So, if the scale is, you know, I think the scale is actually like 0 to 9, and we are normally at a 3, right? And so 0 being alkaline, 9 being high acidity, right? We fall right on a 3 to a 5. So we're more alkaline. If we fall any lower than that 3.8, we're going to need acid to balance it out, to bring us back to the middle. And so that's why things like vitamin C suppositories work. Now, I'm a fan of the vitamin C suppository. I found it years ago because at the end of the day, it is, let me just put a disclaimer. When you use suppositories, it is a quick temporary fix, or it could be a permanent treatment for somebody who has like superficial BV, right? Something like their washing powder triggers it. So they start using the vitamin C and then they change their washing detergent and now it's gone. But see, if you have a chronic womb complication like I did, you can use those vitamin C tablets and inserts to kind of eliminate the odor while you are healing yourself. Because at the end of the day, yes, those boric acid supplements and those vitamin C suppositories are just not really masking, but just offering you a temporary fix for right now. Because, you need relief right now, especially if you have chronic womb issues that you feel like are embarrassing you. Ugh, you need relief right now because it just does something to your self esteem. It does something to your psyche. It does something to how you interact with other people. I mean, it just really affects your social life if you have BV issues that you are not able to control. If your doctor doesn't have an answer for you, like you're literally just walking around and putting yourself in these situations that can breed social awkwardness. I am not giving you more water. What? I don't know what he wants. But it's humiliating. It's exhausting. And nobody wants to be a slave to that. So I say, if you have BV issues, get you some vitamin C suppositories. I sell them on my site, lotusbylove.com. They're only $8, for a 30 count. You only need one to freshen your girl up. Put it in overnight. She'll be fresh the next day, the whole day. And you might have to repeat that again. And that's okay. Because if you are tuned into me, if you are subscribed to my channel, we are going to get down to the bottom of it, honey. And then you won't have to deal with it anymore. So suppositories are good for right now relief. And it is your responsibility to find out what you need to do to make sure you get rid of it indefinitely. So that you can go days without using it and only need those vitamin C pick me ups from when you just had sex with your man and the stuff is brewing and you're just like, let me just freshen the girl up real quick. So, all is not lost. I know you hear a lot on the internet, but you can trust me. Come see what Dr. Love says. Or ask me. I'll tell you. So, vitamin C acid, it brings the alkaline levels up to a higher point. And so, yeah, it's a really good one. I've been using it for years. There aren't many side effects. Now, I don't do boric acid. I've tried them before. It just doesn't sit right with me. They work, I guess, and I know everybody's body is different, so try what you like. If you try boric acid and you love it, go with that. If you try vitamin C and you love it, go with that. But I don't recommend them because it's like micro glass. It's like a micro glass. Yes, boric acid is like really spiky, and not only that, it's spiky, but they use it in like stuff that kills bugs, dish liquids, degreasers, and so I get it, but I'm not with it. So I'm a vitamin C girl myself. But I hear great things. I've tried the boric acid. They're just not for me. The next thing, if you have recurrent BV and a quick soak in the tub and a couple of days on the vitamin C isn't helping you, baby, then you may have trichomoniasis. Trichomoniasis is like the main culprit of the super fishy smell, yellowish or frothy looking discharge. And that comes from little parasites. Trichomonas is little parasites, and they can kill a fetus, an unborn child, your endometrial lining. They can wreak a lot of damage. They can damage your fallopian tubes, your ovaries. They can do a lot of damage. And so I was saying earlier how when your trichomonas is antibiotic resistant, the doctor's resource, Mergum, is called, I want to say Vitex. But Mergum capsules, y'all, 15 days, first thing in the morning, consume some water, and it will eliminate your trichomonas. It will get rid of the symptoms and the fishy smell and kill the parasites. And you can go 2 rounds of that. You can do 15 days, then off, and then another 15 days because you want to make sure, amen, that they're gone. So a lot of times when you get tested for STDs and things and BV, it will come up negative. Even though you in there smelling like a motherfucking fish market. They'll be like, oh, your tests were negative. And it's like, ma'am, did you sniff? You didn't sniff. Lean in. Because, I don't know. I'm not going to get on doctors today because that's not what this live is about. So, if you have trichomonas, if you've tried the vitamin C or borax tablets for a couple of days, you have not gotten any relief, you may have trichomonas, and you might need to ask your doctor to test for that. It's not just something they give you. And so If you think you may have trichomoniasis, use Mergum. Mergum works on even the most antibiotic resistant parasites. Okay, hold on. Let me check my Yoni steam pots because it's still hot, but the heat ain't as aggressive as it once was. So I can put it back. Because baby, I was down here just rotisserie, just steaming my little buns. Like for real, it was hot. But that's because I was moving quickly. But steam buns and all. Hear me when I say steaming is one of the major ways to heal warm complications. I'm gonna always be an advocate for it. And yeah, that was my little commercial break. Anyway, the next way. So you tried the suppositories. You took the soap. It came back. You might need to change your detergent and your washing powder. You might need to change your soap. That's also okay to do. It's not the end of the world, especially if it's gonna keep your girl happy. Say that didn't work. You thought about trichomoniasis. You got tested for trichomoniasis. It came up negative, right? But you're still having reoccurring BV. That could be that ureaplasia thing we were talking about, and that means that the bacteria doesn't have any cell walls, so the antibiotics cannot do a thing with it, honey. It's up against the ropes, honey. The antibiotics is just in there fucking up the rest of your bacterial compound and doing nothing. Doing nothing because that bacteria is aggressive. It has mutated. That's what they don't want to tell you. That's why a lot of doctors don't know about it because they don't care. They don't know, they don't show, or they don't care about what's going on in the vagina. You hear me? I'm just saying, and my voice in the hood voice. Because every time something mutates in the MRSA community, we know about it. Anytime something mutates in, childbirthing, they know about it. But when it comes to the womb complications, they be like, girl, we don't know what you're talking about. Okay. So I'm going to tell you, it's important that you are taking the steps that I mentioned to handle the issue because your doctors, they're not ready for this one, apparently. So I have actually developed a product. I'm developing two products to address this because it's so common. I'm finding that after years of using the vitamin C myself, that I also suffered, but I did other things like use peroxide in my baths and things to kind of help me with that, as well as the witch hazel to help me. Those are two things you can also use to like reconstruct your microbiome, kill off the cells, and hopefully with the introduction of probiotics like yogurt or the probiotic supplements or apple cider vinegar or kombucha, your body will start to regenerate healthier cells that will be less resistant to antibiotics, but also be healthier and not giving you freaking BV. So, two things you want to know when it comes to the ureaplasia, this monstrous reoccurring bacterial vaginosis. Thing one is that the more you watch, hey, if you are joining me from Facebook, send me a green heart. I love my Facebook friends. Hi, Buki. Thank you for joining me. I'm over here just teaching the girls what we know. Yes, join in. Join in. So, you have to make sure that you're not using the same stuff anymore. If you have reoccurring BV, you need to really go ahead and break yourself down to the bare bones on the soap, the lotion. Just go natural. Try some natural unscented things and then spray on or roll on your scent. Hey, Emmanuel, you can go in your room. I'm busy. Give me 30 minutes. And so, spray that perfume on. Everything you apply to your body doesn't have to be so heavily scented. You're not as stinky as you think you are. I don't think. I hope. I mean, I'm trying to help you not be. That's kind of why we're here. Anyway, so eliminate some stuff. Cut out the soap or stop using the soap directly on your vagina. Try other alternatives to minimize how many chemicals touch your vagina. Okay. The second thing you must know is that if you're going to try to treat this ureaplasia, you got to be consistent, girl. That's the biggest fault when it comes to herbs. It's not that they don't work. It's that people start to see results and then they stop taking them. Just like with medicine. But the difference is with medicine is that a lot of that stuff stays in your body for so long because it's synthetic. As herbal compounds only stay in your body as long as your metabolism allows it. Okay? I know I jumbled that up, but you got it, right? So once your body eats up the herb, that herb is essentially out of your body. You need to reapply it. When you put medicine in there, sometimes the sediment settle down in your organs, baby, and it's in there for a little while. So yeah, but you got to be consistent. So when I'm about to tell you, do not come attacking me if you don't be consistent and it don't work. Or don't hurry up and jump off of here when I tell you what to get and then use it wrong and then be coming over here talking about Dr. Love and burnt up your flower because I ain't do it. You're going to be responsible. Okay? Sit tight. I'm going to get to it. So, first thing I'm going to tell you is everything that I'm mentioning needs to be cut in oil or in water. You do not want to apply this stuff directly to your vagina now. For real, y'all. Like, seriously, okay? Now, the only thing you're going to apply directly to your vagina is plain Greek yogurt. Thank you. More of my Facebook friends joining me. Oh my God, y'all. I love y'all. Y'all warm my heart. Y'all be having my back. Y'all be fighting for me. And I be seeing y'all. Them people be fighting for their lives in them comments after y'all eat the girls up, and I love you for it. So the Greek yogurt, you want to do plain. You want to do a whole milk Greek yogurt, not a fat free, because the fat has the acids in it that's gonna start eating up some of that stuff. So, thank you, you the bomb, love. I love y'all for real, truly. Does that? Oh, okay. I'm on my iPad, a heart burst. Anyway, so the Greek yogurt. Now, what you can do is you can mix some of the oils that I'm about to tell you in your Greek yogurt, small amounts, okay? But any of the oils that I'm talking about today, you do not want to apply those directly to your girl without cutting them. Okay. So the first thing you're gonna need is that Greek yogurt, whole or 2%, no less than that. Okay. Plain, not no additives, nothing, just the yogurt. You're also gonna need some oregano oil. You can go with capsules or you can go with the regular oil drops. The next thing is black seed oil. Black seed oil usually comes in a dropper. It's pretty disgusting. Follow me. So you're going to want to add the oregano oil to some oil to dilute it a little bit. It's super strong. Or you can add it to your yogurt. Whichever you decide, you're going to apply the oregano oil to, no, sorry, let me back up. Whichever you decide. Okay. So first step is you're going to take a shower. No soap on your vagina, just water. And when you get out, you're going to oil your inside of your vulva, right? Where the lips and stuff are, and the clitoris, and then the holes down here. You don't want to go in the hole, okay? Don't go in the hole with the oil. You only want the oil on the lips, the vulva. You want to massage it in, and the gooch. Hit the gooch. All around the hole is fine. Don't stick it in the hole. Rub it up. Let that sit, right? You're also going to follow that up the next day with the yogurt. So you're going to alternate for about a week. Well, no, you don't want to alternate. You want to do it often. So you want to oil up with the oregano oil every day for about a week. And then you're going to do 2 or 3 times during that. Slather your girl up with that yogurt. And you don't have to put it inside. Again, just on the vulva's good. You want to let that yogurt sit on your girl about 20, 30 minutes, okay? And just let it sit there. You can also slather it on a pad and then kind of like nestle it up in there, wear some tight drawers, however you see fit. 30 minutes and then wipe it off, okay? Follow that up with the oregano oil. And then that's going to be your topical application to fight that reoccurring BV. Now, the black seed oil, you're going to need to take that. It's pretty nasty, but thank God you only need to take it about a week. You take some every day. And by doing those 3 things for 7 days straight, you will effectively re-establish your microbiome, kill off all those bad cells, and then start to see what your flora really smells like. And you're going to love it. You're going to love it. Okay? Trust me. More than that man do. So Those are the steps. Get your Greek yogurt, get your oregano oil, get your black seed oil. Take a shower. You want to oil up with the oregano oil the first day, let it sit. The next day, you're going to go on with the yogurt for 20 minutes. Once you shower that off, you're going to apply that oregano oil. Next day, you're going to just do oregano oil. The day after that, you're going to do the yogurt, let it sit, apply the oregano oil again. Continue that for the 7 days, alternating. But every day during the 7 days, you're going to take the black seed oil. That's going to tighten you right up. Trust me. If you had ingrown hairs, inflammation down there, irritation, swelling, any of that going on, consider it gone. Consider it gone. Painful sex, consider it gone. All because you did your big one and did what Dr. Love told you to do. Now, this one was new for me. I'm not going to act like this is something I always knew. Somebody turned me on to it because I had a boyfriend this past year. And I'm going to be transparent with y'all because I told you, I'm going to tell my business and not y'all's. I had sex with this man. He cheated on me. He claimed he only got oral sex from the girl. Well, this chick, I don't know what her mouth had going on. We had sex together, y'all. It wasn't even 24 hours later. I was getting in the shower a couple hours later, and it was like my vagina had died. Like something had crawled in there and went on, effectively died and started decaying all in a couple of hours. And I was like, oh my God, what the fuck is that? And so I'm a hot water bag kind of girl. And every time I have sex, I'm going to wrench it out because I'm allergic to latex and it's just easier. So I put my little water in there, and as I'm rinsing it out, it's just like the smell never stopped. And I was like, what the fuck is that? What is that? Who's in there? Who the fuck is in there? So I confront him about the cheating. Of course, he lies. Yes, oh my God, it's real. He lies about the cheating. He claims he only got some head from somebody. I'm like, you're lying, baby, because my couture is angry, baby. My couture is angry, mad, biting me back. Y'all, the discharge, you know how like when you got a sinus infection and it's coming on the end and you like coughing up all the stuck on stuff that was in your sinuses and in your lungs, and it's like the mucus is real thick and then it's got some little spots that's like brown. Y'all, when I say the discharge had little brown clumps of hardened mucus or something. So I go to the doctor. I have this place where I go where I get tested all the time. So I get tested there. Nothing. I'm like, no, something is wrong. I go to the doctor. They like, nothing. Something is wrong. I go to the urgent care. They like, nothing. I'm like, what in the entire fuck? What could that be? So I start this bath, like 30 days of bath. If you go on my TikTok, I was getting up every day at 4 in the morning over the summer just taking baths, y'all, because for months I couldn't figure out what was wrong. Baby, I had to get the Vitex the Mergum for the goddamn trichomoniasis because that was going on. Then I had the urea plasia stuff. Now, me and him had already been sleeping together for a whole like 6 months, unprotected and everything. So I'm confused. I'm like, everything was just good just a week ago. And now here you come, you cheated on me, and now I got something I'm like not getting rid of. Y'all, I thought I had HIV. I had dropped like 8 pounds, and I'm already slim. So I was walking around here just looking like a bobblehead, skinny as hell. I was stressing out. I couldn't sleep. I'm like, this man that gave me something I can't get rid of. But then I found an article where a woman was talking about urea plasia. And I said, look at God, lo and behold. So I started working on some formulas that I can take and what it looks like and what my body did and what worked and what didn't. And now I can bring you the goods. It's MYRRH. I found it on Amazon. Hold on. MYRRH gum. Okay. Oh, let's put it in. Oh, this is the exact one I got. iHerb.com. Hold on. I hope y'all can see this. This is the exact one that I went and got from iHerb. Oh, Lord. So it's MYRRH gum resin, tree resin. It's like, how many? It's $8. And yeah, it's good stuff. So you want to use that. Nature's way. Perfect. I'll drop some links. But that trichomoniasis is tricky, and you gonna want to have that around because it's passed around. People aren't getting tested for it because they don't know they need to ask. And I mean, it's just going under the radar, and it can literally harm you if you're pregnant. If you have trichomoniasis when you're pregnant, it can take your fetus, it can take your uterus, or they can give you something that will eventually also take you the fetus. So that stuff is dangerous, and I don't know why we don't talk about that more. It just flies under the radar, just making everybody coochie smell like a fish fry. It's just bad. So, but the urea plagia is almost just as bad because how dare you be antibiotic resistant? As often as we get this, as often as your pH is thrown off, how dare it be antibiotic resistant? Because even if you trust your doctor, it's like they're giving you the right stuff. But unfortunately, this stuff is just so crazy aggressive that it just beats the motherfucking antibiotics the fuck down. Clocks her T every time, and then you just looking lost and turned out. No more. We won't be lost and turned out no more. Because I refuse to feel embarrassed or insecure. Now I got a lot of situations going on, but smelling like fish is one that I try not to do because it's something I'm always like conscious of in my subconscious. But I always have to try to make sure my body is tight because I smell like all kind of sage and stuff that people think stink like nag champa incense. And sometimes I'm feeling like maybe they smell my body and not the incense smell. Psyche is a crazy thing, but I'm hoping that you got my tea today. Okay? I'm hoping that you got my tea. And I hope that you hear my sincerity when I say, like, stop being led astray. Open your mind to different healing modalities. These are not alternatives. They're alternatives to what they try to force feed us through media and through this Western colonization. But you got to know that we're not the only place in the world, right? They try to make us think that we are. No, this world is vast. There are other countries that try other things. We had a woman on earlier from India. I'm trying to get to India. They over there doing a big coochie one over there. It's a coochie world over there. And the coochie girl is trying to get there so I can study and bring back some really great historical and ancient information. Because if you look at it, people from India don't be really having unplanned pregnancies. It's a reason for that. It's a reason for that. So I love y'all. Y'all know I do this. Watch, share. Come turn out for the coochie girl in your coochie's world. Okay. I'm dropping all kind of products. I thought I was gonna do one thing and this thing and that thing, but y'all, I think I'm about to start manufacturing herbal body care. Sounds crazy, but wish me luck. I love y'all. Oh, come on, lock in. Okay, lock in. And I'm actually pretty funny. This was more of a serious conversation with my girls that I wanted to have, but I definitely appreciate you. Please, please, please follow me. Share. You know. Now I see your comment, Miss May Virgo. Exactly. Guys be quick to say, no, baby, I don't know, Big Mama. She ain't never got no smell. Thank you, hear me? And the first thing I say is, did it stink when you got her? I've had that happen to me before. This guy was trying to get me pregnant so bad, snuck one. And then I went in the shower, my shit was wrong. And I was like, you did that. He was like, did I? I was like, did my coochie stink before you got her? Like when you pulled up and put your face in it like you was doing with such confidence, was it funky then? I want to be honest with me, okay? Because if you fuck funky coochie, that's your business. But I need you to explain to me if when you came over my house and start nestling your nose in my ass crack, if it smelled like the fish fry. Because it does not. You know what I'm saying? Men do a lot. And the most with the least. My mentor say, men, people do the most with the least. And men, baby, the men, they do the most with the least. Every time. But at the end of the day, they're carriers. And let me tell you, sister, if you didn't have BB before he came over there and laid that thing down, that thing had BB so aggressive that it triggered a yeast infection in you too, that mean a girl he just had sex with either got a nasty mouth and a nasty coochie, or she just raunchy. Okay? He over there doing anal or something, and I ain't wrench it all the way off. Because you shouldn't be getting yeast and BV at the same time from your sex partner. But if it happens, that means the girl beforehand had the whoopty wop bam. You ain't want that. Okay? You ain't want that. You ain't want that. At the end of the day, I love y'all. I'm tired of men being loud and wrong and trying to persecute us for their laziness around their penis. But the moment we all be like, I'm sorry, when is the last time you dipped that thing or rubbed some oregano oil on it? 1 second, I'm almost done. When's the last time? When's the last time? He don't know what he wants, y'all. All right, I'm gonna go. It was nice. I got some errands to run. It's about the storm here in the STL. And so I'm trying to do what I got to do before that bad baby hits. So I thank y'all for tuning in and checking out your girl. I love y'all so much. Join me next time. We're going to be talking about fertility. I'm going to try to do a live once every 2 weeks on a Saturday to get your weekend fired up and make sure you live your best coochie life tonight, girls. I love y'all. Peace.